It's what I call a digital research and teaching environment for the history of astronomy. This is the starting screen of the planetarium. And you can already see the geocentric cosmos, right, with the Earth in the center. And you can see that it has all the orientational markers, the zodiac, the constellations. And I'm just gonna show you, I'm just gonna run you through a couple of functions that this kind of planetarium provides. So we're changing into the observer view. So this is the view, basically God's eye view from the third person view. Now we're changing to a terrestrial observer. This is the planet Mars, how it moves across the sky. And we see that in regular intervals, it halts, it moves backwards against its mean direction, it halts again, and then it continues its mean motion. And this is what is called the retrogression, of course, of Mars. We're taking the observational data from NASA, and we're having them for all of the known planets for a very long amount of time. So the data volume here is quite high, and you can see that we can play the solar system basically with a real-timed calendar. And here we have the model that started it all. I'm going to switch into the light mode because it's just a bit more evident. So this is the homocentric spheres of Eudoxus, basically the first theory of planetary motion. And you can see that the model is running in real time. And Eudoxus, by placing the planet on the inner one of 3 celestial spheres and making them rotate each one uniformly around a common center, but the combined motion produces this type of retrogression. And what's new with this kind of planetarium that we're developing is that every parameter of the model is fully interactive. So if I'm about to change the latitude, the position of the planet on the inner sphere, you can see how the trace is changing accordingly in real time. So now what we can do is we can put the virtual model together with the observational planets, right? And this allows us to compare basically the temporal behavior of those models with real time steps. And this allowed us, for example, to see that in this reconstruction by the model of Kallippos, which has 4 spheres, you can see that although the trace, the geometrical trace of the planets is quite similar, so the blue one is of course the model, and the red one is real Mars, you can see that in this case, the temporal behavior of the model is very much unlike a real Mars. And now what I'm going to show you is also going to show you the Ptolemaic models. So we're working on having all of the models from the Almagest inside of the platform. This is the model for the planet Mars, and you can see again all of the dynamic parameters are exposed and can be changed in real time. And if we're letting it run, this is of course Ptolemy. This is very beautiful how we check it from the observer view, how well his model fits the movement of the real planets. And this reconstruction, of course, of Ptolemy's Mars from the Almagest, this is not new. This is well known to historians of astronomy, but our mode of representation to have all of this, what I mentioned before, in one unified environment, this is something new, and it allows us to perform new types of research. For example, concerning the accuracy of the ancient models down there, you can see this interface where it calculates the accuracy of the model. And already in this type of beta stage that we're in right now, we managed to find out something interesting. What I also want to show you is that, of course, this platform has a very nice user interface. So, for example, you have this slide functionality, and you can really, this is the idea, have virtual classes be taken inside of the platform. And the text is, of course, hyperlinked. So if I'm hovering over it with the mouse, you can see that it highlights the structures, which is very helpful because for somebody that is new to the field, it can become quite confusing, the specific vocabulary. Personally, I would love to also go the next step to leave the screen space and to bring this this type of software to virtual reality. Technically, it's very much possible. Here you can see a little mock-up that I was doing that shows existing technology, and it wouldn't be such a big step to put the to leave the screen space behind and make the planetarium a room scale experience.